Even for the most seasoned internet marketers, the idea of creating a sales funnel can be pretty intimidating. I know because I've been there, I've created multiple sales funnels, but they have also led me to building a multi-7-figure business. So I'm gonna share with you some of the strategies that I've learned along the way. Hey, this is Marley Jaxx. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the top 2 most important things you need to keep in mind when you're creating your sales funnel to make sure that you're set up for success. Then I'm going to share with you my don't miss the bus technique that's going to help accelerate your conversions. Then we're going to be talking about the #1 mistake that most people overlook with their funnels and how you can avoid it. Then I'm going to share with you a story that taught me why my funnel wasn't converting. Let's start with the 2 most important parts of the funnel. Now you might expect me to say, oh, make sure that the button is here, or that it's this color, or that this is a layout. And yes, the design and the technicalities, the functionality is very important. But even if those things are perfect, they won't matter if your offer is wrong. That's the first thing I want to share with you is the offer. Offer creation to me is an art and a science, that when you're positioning an offer, whether it's a program or a product or a service, you have to really demonstrate the value versus the actual price. When someone is signing up for something, they have to feel like the value is worth the exchange, that whatever that credit card they've got in their hand is worth whatever they are getting in return. So how you position that is going to be through your offer stack, really clearly displaying what they're going to get in return for that money that they're going to be investing. And you can lay that out almost like a line item, like you're going to get this and this and this, and the messaging in that stack has to really demonstrate that it's going to solve their pain points or bring them this amazing benefit that they've been looking for. So that brings me to the second most important thing, which I mentioned, is the messaging. Of course, you're demonstrating the value versus the price, but the next way to make sure that you're really dialing that in is by breaking and addressing any objection that they may have. A good way to study this may be by observing your own purchasing behavior. When you go to a store or when you land on a website, what are you thinking? Do you have a wall up that you're like, oh, I don't want them to sell me and this won't work for me because, well, your audience might have that same guard up. Our job as marketers is to become really good at this messaging so that they let down that guard very quickly, that they're excited about what we have to offer, and any concerns that they might have, we're able to address with the copywriting, with the images, with the social proof that we're able to show. Here are similar results that we've created for people just like you. So think about the objections that your audience might have. Are they going to say, well, this won't work for me because I've tried other things and they didn't work? Are they going to say, well, I can't do this because I'm not, fill in the blanks, good enough, I'm not confident enough, I'm not whatever enough, it's something about them? Or are they going to say, I don't have time, or I don't have money? And think about how you can break those objections, address them within your sales funnel to be able to overcome them. Now, my next technique, the don't miss the bus technique, is going to really help to overcome those. But before I get into that, make sure that you click the button and subscribe to this channel. This don't miss the bus technique is going to help your audience to overcome objections and give them a reason to act fast. Because here's the thing, you might have this amazing offer, but if there's no urgency or scarcity, they might think, I'll get it later. And then life gets in the way, they get distracted, or there's a marketer who gives them some urgency and scarcity that they invest their money there instead of what you have to offer. So listen up, I'm going to share with you my don't miss the bus strategy. So the B in bus stands for bonus. And when you can add bonuses to your offer, it creates this additional perceived value for your customer and will give them a reason to act fast. So let's say if you say, hey, if you sign up right now, I'm also going to give you this. Or if you sign up right now, I'll give you 2 for 1. Have you ever been at the grocery store where if you bundled things together, you got extra of whatever you were buying? This can be for an online product, this can be for a service, it can be for anything. You can always add bonuses. Now, the best way to decide what your bonuses are going to be is to look at maybe what are the objections that your audience might have, or what are the questions that they have that are coming up for them. If you can cater to their questions or their objections by adding a bonus that will solve that problem for them, voila, you might have a sale. I'll give you an example for mine. Sometimes people will say, well, I love the idea of doing YouTube videos, but I don't know how to edit videos myself. So that's perfect. That's how I know I can add a bonus to help them handle that objection. So I say, I totally understand that editing your videos might be time consuming. If you feel like you're not a techie person, I have just the solution. If you sign up right now, I'm going to give you my editing style guides and templates. And not only that, I'm also going to share with you my content outsourcing blueprint that will show you how I hired my first video editor for $15 a video. So hearing that, the person might think, well, if I'm brave enough to try editing videos myself, here's these templates that I can just plug and play. Or they know I can actually hire a video editor and it's not going to be as expensive as I thought. Especially when I position that, hey, do you think that your time is worth more than $15? Do you think that in the time it would take you to edit those videos, if you had someone else doing it, you might be able to spend that time on other revenue generating opportunities? I think so. So hopefully that bonus, that example, shows you how you can overcome an objection and lead them towards the sale in your funnel. Now the U in the don't miss the bus strategy is for urgency. That's that tension that they feel when they know that they have to take action fast because maybe that window is closing, that door is closing. So a way you could implement this is by saying, hey, the doors are closing Friday at midnight. If you miss your spot, you've missed the bus. And what you can do is you be sure that you close that door Friday at midnight. And sure enough, you can totally expect that those sales are gonna come in typically Friday in the last couple hours because a lot of people are thinking about it, they're mulling it over, but when they feel that urgency, they know that they have to act. And the S in the don't miss the bus strategy is for scarcity. And I'm sure that you've experienced this yourself. Have you ever wanted to get concert tickets? Maybe your favorite band was coming into town and you know that when those tickets come onto Ticketmaster, they sell out really quick. So you're like at your computer, credit card in hand, ready to go, and you just get whatever you can because you know that they're gonna sell out. Same thing that you can do with your service or your offer. Maybe you say you only have 5 of them left. Maybe you say that time is running out, that you only have so many spots available. Now here's my disclaimer if you're gonna use any of these. Make sure they are ethical and true. That you're not saying we have 5 spots left, but somehow you always have 5 spots left. Your audience will see that, they'll pick up on that, and it might hurt that level of trust that you've already built with them. So make sure that whatever you say is true, is accurate. If you say you're gonna close the doors Friday at midnight, close the doors Friday at midnight. You can always reopen it next month. So now that I've shared those with you, how are you planning on adding urgency and scarcity into your next offer? Let me know in the comments below. Now that you know the don't miss the bus strategy, let's talk about the #1 mistake that most people overlook with their funnels. Now it's important that you want to be providing value. Of course we do. We are impact driven. We want to help as many people as possible, but there's a difference between over delivering and overwhelming. Sometimes people, they create these offer stacks where they're like, I'm gonna give you this and I'm gonna give you this. It ends up just being this like kerfuffle of an offer that is actually hurting instead of helping. Your audience might look at this and think, this is too much. I'd never be able to achieve this. I'd never be able to consume all of this. It's not for me. I can tell you this from personal experience. I put out a course once and I thought, I'm gonna give them everything I know. I'm gonna make it like the Netflix. I'm gonna have content on every single subject possible. And I put like hundreds of videos in there. Does that sound intriguing to you? Maybe if you want Netflix, but they wanted to get a result and they want to get a result fast. People are going to pay for ease and speed. So I don't know about you, but I would much rather have a course or a program that I could get to a result and only have to invest maybe a couple hours by consuming that content. If I feel like there's just this overwhelming, never-ending mammoth of content that I need to consume, it just seems too daunting. So consider your customer journey. How have they already gotten to where they are right now? What are their pain points? What do they need to overcome? And how can you give them to that in the most simple way? Don't confuse them. Don't overwhelm them. Give them what they need. Give them what they want, help them to overcome objections, give them some bonuses, some urgency and scarcity. Lastly, I'm going to share with you how I discovered why my funnel wasn't converting. And this is something that I think everyone encounters. If your funnel isn't converting, of course, I want you to go back and look at all of the ideas that I just gave you. Look at your offer, look at your messaging. Are you implementing the don't miss the bus strategy? But the next thing that I want you to understand is your pricing strategy. I've had clients come to me and say, this isn't converting. Do I have to lower the price? And I've learned from my own experience, and this is why this is so important that I share this with you, that when people pay, they pay more attention. I remember that my course that I mentioned to you where I just created this whole Netflix jumble of all my expertise, when it wasn't selling, I kept reducing the price, reducing the price, reducing the price, reducing the price. This was like my life's work that I had spent months, years compiling all this content together. And there's a ton of great content in there. It just wasn't systemized or distributed strategically. So instead I put it into this membership site and said, it's $37 a month. And what happened was I didn't acquire the level of client that I actually wanted to work with, and it wasn't the level of client that would actually ascend in my value ladder. If in my value ladder, I know that I want to work with high-performing entrepreneurs, when I priced my content at a low price, which there's nothing wrong with pricing at a low price, but because I was giving everything for $37, why would they ascend to a next level? So keep that in mind before you ever think of changing the price. More often than not, it's not a pricing issue. It's your offer, it's the messaging, and it's the don't miss the bus strategy. Now, after creating your sales funnel, you always want to be monitoring and optimizing, looking at where are people opting in, where are they converting, and where are people maybe falling off. Do you need to change your headline? Do you need to maybe adjust your copy, adjust your offer, maybe change the color of your button? You can always be split testing for better results. If you need help creating your sales funnel, how about I take the heavy lifting off for you? I've actually created some free sales funnel templates. These are some of my highest converting ones. So if you click the link below, you can get access to my Jaxx Share Funnel templates absolutely free.